What's happening, guys? Nope. Quickly just checks on them. Yes. Oh, he got the... Forgot the name of this guy. Leave it stock looking. Hey, what's happening, Nick? You don't know? Skill. This looks so sick in the game. So sad. What other colours do we have? Oh, nice. How you doing in that now? Are you getting more wins or still a bit of a challenge? No wins. What's your highest finishing? That's still pretty good. I like the turbos. I did not see that car. Okay, what was I gonna do? We've done that. There's a house there, it's pretty shit. I want to do this one. This is new. Let's go to this one.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
That's a bit strange. This would be probably easier to do. Jesus. car was so sick. Yes, these mad ones. Leading midfield. Oh, you mean, yeah, okay, yeah.
In 400
What position
meters,
are you
turn
currently
right.
in the season? Like, where's your driver standing?
Turn right. In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left.
Oh, 7th is pretty good. It's kind of sad to say. Wonder what motor's in here. Oh, I dropped it. Jesus. Some of these vehicles just come out of nowhere.
In 400 meters, turn right.
Pretty easy to kick the ass out of this thing.
Turn right. In 200
go
meters,
check out what this
turn
is.
right. Turn right. You have arrived at your destination.
British Racing Green. Okay. Before we do that, let's do this. Nope, not that. Okay, so we earned 8,000 today. It's not bad. Yeah, we got 9 super wheel spins. Might as well use it. Could have gave me that Porsche. Gotta count Vic. That's not bad. That's not bad. No. Oh, give me the Porsche. Hey, I won't complain, that's 2 cars. Hey, we got the Lotus. That would be pretty expensive. Yes! 400k, I'll take that. That was good, that was good. Oh, the Beamer. Oh, I won't complain about that. I got the Ferrari Dino and the Alfa Romeo 8C. Credit boost. Nice. This has been alright so far. Pretty good. Spins. Oh, could have got the... Was it FE? Is that Forza edition? I think so. But I got the truck too. I think that's our first truck, I'm pretty sure. I'll say that was alright, probably pretty good. We'll check out the new cars after this. Oh, we got 2 more wheel spins. Okay. Oh, please get that Jag. I'll take that, that's awesome. I think I got both those cars, so that's alright. Okay, let's start this. British Racing Green.
Great to see you. We're shooting a documentary about car culture in the UK, and I need a second driver. You've made a name for yourself, and it would be great to have you aboard. It's simple. You drive, I tell the story. Let's do it.
So I'm recreating scenes. Oh, that reminds me. Two Mercedes are in front. Let me guess. Ferrari second and third and fourth. Oh, I need to turn that off.
From Aston Martin to McLaren and Bentley, Great Britain is home to over a century of automotive excellence. I'm Rebecca Dawson. Welcome to British Racing Green, a documentary celebrating that history. Great to see you. We're shooting a documentary about car culture in the UK, and I need a second driver. You've made a name for yourself, and it would be great to have you aboard. It's simple. You drive, I tell the story. Let's do it.
Drifting in a DB5.
From Aston Martin to McLaren and Bentley, Great Britain is home to over a century of automotive excellence. I'm Rebecca Dawson. Welcome to British Racing Green, a documentary celebrating that history. The Aston Martin DB5 Vantage was the quintessential Grand Tourer of the 1960s.
But this isn't British
combining
green.
British engineering and Italian
so
design.
I wonder if it still has its guns. Still pretty fast for an old car.
The Vantage featured side
Itchy face.
draft carburetors and a refined camshaft profile, capable of a blistering top speed of 162 miles an hour in 1964.
Commercial cars did go faster than that.
The clean lines of Superleggera's bodywork, reclining seats and wool carpets created a car that was luxurious as well as fast.
This is legit just built for a movie. It was not built for Grand Touring. Smash that mini apple.
This car would form the basis for the DB range, with later cars improving on the design in many ways, but none would ever achieve the sheer iconic perfection of the Vantage.
In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left.
Oh, get away.
For all of its beauty and engineering perfection, only 65 of these beautiful machines would ever be built. If you own one, you own a piece of British history.
It's like this car's worth like, what, 20
200
mil?
meters, you will arrive at your destination.
The silver DB5 would be immortalized in half a century of cinema. The classic Aston Martin.
Probably the best Aston Martin.
But in 2016, a new DB was unveiled, heralding the dawn of Aston Martin's second century. The DB11 is the first production turbocharged Aston Martin. But is it a worthy successor to that legacy?
She forgot to mention it's got a Mercedes engine in it.
The short answer is yes. It's bold, responsive, and agile, with perhaps the best GT chassis in the world. And listen to it.
Used to be easy to drive.
Able to hit 60 miles an hour in 3.5 seconds, the DB11's 5.2-litre twin-turbo V12 boasts a top speed of over 200 miles an hour.
I'm driving this so more carefully.
The DB11 is not the fastest car in the world, but then it's not trying to be. It's sophisticated, effortless luxury. It's an Aston Martin.
I was not paying attention. Here we go.
The short answer is yes. It's bold, responsive, and agile, with perhaps the best GT chassis in the world. And listen to it.
This car does sound pretty good.
Able to hit 60 miles an hour in 3.5 seconds, the DB11's 5.2-litre twin-turbo V12 boasts a top speed of over 200 miles an hour. The DB11 is not the fastest car in the world, but then it's not trying to be. It's sophisticated, effortless luxury. It's an Aston Martin. Are you all right? Take a moment, then let's do that bit again.
Seriously? I don't know why I'm struggling so hard with these.
The short answer is yes. It's bold, responsive, and agile. It's perhaps the best GT chassis in the world. And listen to it. Able to hit 60 miles an hour in 3.5 seconds, the DB11's 5.2-litre twin-turbo V12 boasts a top speed of over 200 miles an hour. The DB11 is not the fastest car in the world, but then it's not trying to be. It's sophisticated, effortless luxury. It's an Aston Martin.
Why am I struggling with that turn? Oh my god, I've never struggled this bad.
The short answer is yes. It's bold, responsive, and agile. It's perhaps the best GT chassis in the world. And listen to it.
Oh my god, that's it. If I can't do it this time, I'm not doing it. Just suddenly forgotten how to drive.
The short answer is yes. It's bold, responsive, and agile. It's perhaps the best GT chassis in the world. And listen to it. Able to hit 60 miles an hour in 3.5 seconds, the DB11's 5.2-litre twin-turbo V12 boasts a top speed of over 200 miles an hour.
Holy shit. What? It's not winter or anything.
The short answer is yes. It's bold, responsive, and agile. It's perhaps the best GT chassis in the world. And listen to it. Able to hit 60 miles an hour in 3.5 seconds, the DB11's 5.2-litre twin-turbo V12 boasts a top speed of over 200 miles an hour. The DB11 is not the fastest car in the world, but then it's not trying to be. It's sophisticated, effortless luxury. It's an Aston Martin. The DB11's front strakes channel air to create a virtual spoiler, providing downforce without compromising the car's clean lines. Brilliant.
Hey bud, welcome to the stream.
Most importantly, I think, the DB11 proves that Aston Martin is ready for another century of beautiful cars. And I can't wait. Beautiful as they are, Aston Martins are only one of many cars made in the United Kingdom.
I can't make
Let's see what else is out there.
It's up to you. 3 stars, holy crap, that was pretty bad. That took way too long. At least we got a decent amount of money out of it. That's a decent amount. Hey, 10 grand's not bad. 10 grand's not bad. No, you will. Much appreciated, Sam.
There's another abandoned car rumour, but I'm up to my neck putting together the spring seasonals. You couldn't go have a wee look for me, could you?
I'm so doing this bond find. Okay, where would it be? I reckon somewhere in here. Or in here. Or maybe in here. Let's go for this bond find. Actually, I know a faster way. I know a faster way. Fast travel. Yeah, we got 150. Awesome. Thank you, Sam. Much appreciated, bud. Okay, let's go to our right. Maybe this is a wrong area to start off with. That's too close to the road. Okay, let's go over to this area. Okay, where is it? Too close to the road, we'll head over this way. If I was a bomb, where would it be? looks too open for a barn. Really? A tree? A skinny ass tree? Okay. I've already explored this. Seriously, I can't go back? Here. Be somewhere around here. I think I found it. Bingo.
You found it, didn't you? Ah, I was just having fun. Okay, I'll be there soon.
It's a Ford GT40.
Is that a GT? Aye, it is a GT. They're up for a crash test by the look of it. See the fiducial markers down the side? So much for the dummy that left it here, eh? Ha! Ours now.
That car be worth a lot.
See you back at the garage in a bit.
Oh, it's a Mark 1 too. That was actually a bit of a hard one to find. But we found it. Okay. Let's fast travel back to here. So what do we got? Race car, I think we got the Lotus Thunderford. So we got some really good barn finds. Okay, next chapter.
This is shaping up nicely. Time for a change of pace, though. At least at first. The next segment is about Land Rover, and we'll be starting out with the Type 3.
Oh, this thing is gonna be slow.
Land Rover, the British sports utility vehicle. But before that, they were actual utility vehicles. Solid, tough trucks, unstoppable over almost any terrain.
And really unreliable.
400 meters, turn left.
The Land Rover Type 3 marks the point where that shift begins. And we'll be looking at what that meant.
Recalculating route.
Land Rovers have taken on almost every task imaginable. They've been generators, tractors and ambulances. They've brought peace and carried medicines to disaster zones. They've even been buses.
Yeah, no.
Over 500,000 Series 3s were built, and over 70% of those are still on the road today. They were extensively exported and built under license abroad. Belgium, South Africa, even Australia and New Zealand. With a robust chassis and signature Land Rover engineering, the Type 3 also marked the first time that buyers could choose interior options, like seat box protectors and cubby boxes.
I don't know they're saying Land Rover was so good back then.
That
so
trend continued, and by 1982, Land Rover were offering the county spec Type 3. Leisure drivers could choose from such luxuries as all-cloth seats, soundproofing and tinted glass. The trend was increasingly clear, and the future of the Land Rover was starting to take shape. If you squinted, you could already see the shape of the first sports utility vehicle, the Range Rover.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
I was not paying attention to where I needed to go. The thing is that slow.
In 1978, a Series 3 was custom built for Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. It only had 1,892 miles on the clock when it was auctioned into private hands. And it was in perfect condition. It would be. After all, she trained as a mechanic in the 1940s and will likely remain the only royal able to strip and rebuild an engine.
Kind of cool. I never knew they made a mechanic back in the 90s.
In 200 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
Along with the Range Rover, others would follow. Discovery, Defender, and the Freelander. Each a more sophisticated and enjoyable utility vehicle. But none of them were a replacement for the Type 3. They were a different kind of car.
Okay, what do we use?
The Type 3 was arguably the first sports utility vehicle, an evolution of the design that would lead ultimately to this. The Bowler Nemesis, an off-road racing vehicle that turned into a production SUV, the Nemesis EXR.
So a beefed up Land Rover.
It sports a turbocharged 5-litre Land Rover Jaguar engine, crammed into a carbon fibre chassis with integral roll cage. It even has the grille, headlights and rear lights from a Range Rover.
What do you mean by that, Nick?
And there are no compromises either. With a 0 to 60 time of an unreal 4.2 seconds, all-wheel drive, and the ability to corner near instantly, the Nemesis provides adrenaline and sheer terror in equal measure. This is an all-terrain supercar. That's the only fair description for this. But that's what you get when you build an SUV with Land Rover DNA.
3 stars. I think that's the first time we ever got 2 back-to-back 3 stars. Only 8 grand for that. Really? Fine. No, I didn't realize we ranked up too. So I got 2 more barn finds.
So, turns out that barn find is a TVR Speed 12. Get to the garage. You gotta see this.
Yeah, we'll do that in a bit. Little wheel spins. $130. Awesome. Oh, 160. Seriously? That was a weak spin. Still got a decent amount of money. You should get Forza, Mick, it's awesome. Okay, let's see what upgrades we can do. Yeah, we'll chuck those on. Yeah, pistol still rules, yeah. I just wish the PS4 controller was the same size as the Xbox controller. It just fits in my hand so much easier. Oh, sweet.
Hope you're enjoying yourself. I know I am. It's great to be able to just focus on telling the story while someone else handles the driving for once. Let's get to the next one. This time, it's Lotus.
Look how small it is. Oh my god, Mick, what did you do now?
Lotus Engineering Limited began as many stories in British engineering do. in an old barn. The first Lotus cars were offered as kits. You built them yourself. From 1962, they began to actually build the cars themselves. The Elan Sprint showed exactly what they intended to do. Built around a steel backbone with a fiberglass chassis, the Sprint weighed in at a meager 687 kilos parked on the curb. On the road, this translated into brilliant agility and fantastic performance.
Yet again, Lotus are well known for lightweight supercars. Or sports cars, sorry.
Designer Colin Chapman famously said, "Adding power makes you faster on the straights. Subtracting weight makes you faster everywhere." He knew what he was talking about.
In 100 meters, turn right. In 100 meters, turn left.
Widely hailed as one of the greatest sports cars of the 1960s, the Elan would be closely studied and emulated, inspiring such masterpieces as the Mazda MX-5. The Elan has all the energy, style, and enthusiasm you would expect. Bold, quick, and fun. So much so that they put it in the name. The Elan Sprint was a financial as well as an engineering success for Lotus, validating their approach to design and resulting in a whole family of light, agile roadsters. Which brings us to this, the Lotus Exige. It's heavier than the Elan, admittedly, but it's faster. Much, much faster. Touch the pedal, the Exige responds with instant, relentless acceleration, as you'd expect.
I really do like Lotus.
With a 0 to 60 time of 3.8 seconds and a top speed of 170 before upgrades and tuning, the Exige is uncompromising.
This is like pretty much a track-ready car already.
And there's no power steering, so you can really feel the road. A genuinely thrilling drive, and one that isn't afraid to demand you take it seriously.
In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left.
Yeah, this would be easy. It's spring, how the road's still so wet.
In 400 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
And with rumoured launches of 2 new cars in 2020, Lotus looks set to push the benchmark of the experienced sports car well into the next century.
Yeah, Lotus is a bit behind that, let's be honest. I think they're owned by Proton. Well, they used to be owned by Proton. Is that EAE? Oh. Just wondering, I was like, that doesn't make sense. Hello, how you doing, bud? Okay, what barn find? Back hurts. Is it the layer? I'm so sorry if I said your name wrong. Guessing that's meant to say Taylor?
Done much rallying? That's a joke. We've all seen what you've been up to. We're doing the next bit on location. You'll see why when you get there.
I was trying to say the Cam Block's cars aren't anything to do with British. I just have to get there? Oh wow, I cut so much time off.
In 400 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
I forgot about the parking part.
Ford, that most American of cars. But the Ford Escort, oh, that's British. And more than that, the Escort would become for many synonymous with Group B. In the 70s, Ford had embraced that destiny so firmly that they'd begun their own championships to find new drivers. Drivers for cars like the RS 1800. This was a car designed explicitly for rallying, with a powerful fuel-injected 1790cc Cosworth BDE engine.
That's a cool boss, seriously,
Homologation rules required that all cars entered into the Group B production, so Ford built 200 of them.
Only 200.
The RS 1800 raced to victory after victory across the rallying world, on almost every continent and across every terrain type imaginable. This car was basically unbeatable.
Until you got beaten.
The RS 1800 brought home 17 World Rally Championship victories for Ford.
I don't understand what you're saying, Mick. Is that a reference to someone?
So, of course, Ford set out to design a better one. The RS 200 Evolution was their answer. A purpose-built rally car designed to do one thing: win Group B.
I don't think this actually raced. I'm pretty sure the category they entered
with a 1.8 turbocharged Ford Cosworth BDT engine and all-wheel drive, the RS 200 had perhaps the best suspension platform of any car of its era. The chassis was fiberglass from Reliant, and the massive Ford parts bin was raided to give the car that iconic look. But while the car had potential, turbo lag at low RPM and a poor power-to-weight ratio meant that it never placed better than third. The end of Group B in the mid-80s meant the end of the RS200 as a rallying car. Fortunately, Ford built over 200 as part of the homologation requirements for Group B, so you can still find them, if you're lucky.
Probably not the best classic Ford, I have to say. Oh wow, we need level up twice. So landmarks, we got 21 and 25. That's not bad. Hopefully we can get another barn find too. That'd be great.
You know, I really like this car. Not that I'd want to drive it for too long. Squeeze yourself in there and let's see just how fast you can make it go. Which won't be too fast. But hey, I could be surprised.
I was gonna say, this is the one that I built. It's gonna be...
The Peel P50 has the dubious honour of being the smallest production car in the world. A one-door microcar coupe, featuring a 42cc air-cooled engine, capable of a heinous 38 miles an hour. And a handle, so you can pick it up and carry it with you when you get to work. And keep in mind that this is the production version. The prototype had the single wheel at the front. Why would you think that was a good idea?
Single wheel at the back is even worse. This is so slow.
In 2010, though, production restarted at Sutton-in-Ashfield. So, if you'd like to own the modern incarnation of this, I suppose you can.
Did it really make a modern version of that PLP 50? That's an interesting choice. Like, seriously, who would have bought that? God, it's so slow stock. Hey, Vix Gaming. Welcome to the stream, bud. I don't know how many we've done. I think we've done 4 or 5 now. Yes,
hey
please.
there! How about a car with some actual legroom and some actual speed? This section's about what happened when McLaren decided to make a road car. You're going to enjoy this.
Okay, Vix, I'll check out your channel after the stream.
The track and the road have very different requirements. For McLaren, that was a challenge they were more than willing to embrace. In 1988, they set out to create the finest sports car the world has ever seen. By 1993, they had achieved their goal, and the honestly fantastic F1 was the result. 106 would be built across all variants, and it remains one of the very best road cars ever made. The F1 has no turbocharger. That would have compromised the driving experience, increased complexity, and resulted in turbo lag. The F1 is a naturally aspirated supercar, one of the fastest in the world, in fact. Everything about this car is innovative. from the carbon fiber monocoque to the central driver position. McLaren threw the book away when they designed the F1. Then they wrote a better one. The F1's monocoque chassis is incredibly lightweight, only 100 kilos all told, which posed a significant challenge because carbon fiber and fiberglass aren't great insulators. So, McLaren lined the entire engine compartment with gold. McLaren's racing heritage is so deeply ingrained in this machine that they took it to Le Mans in 1995 and faced off against purpose-built racing machines, and won.
No, I was going to say, they did pretty well, they won. Well, they took a road car to a proper racing series and smashed it.
So, with something like the F1 to live up to, where do you go next? Well, you throw the book away again and write an even better one. The result is the McLaren P1, a hybrid electric sports car that stands head and shoulders above the F1. The P1 GTR will hit 60 miles an hour in 2.4 seconds. That's 0.7 seconds faster than the F1. That's an eternity for a supercar.
At the roundabout, take the third exit.
Oh, this is a speed challenge, not bad. Time challenge, so I felt like half the track.
Remember those problems with turbo lag? McLaren solved that with the hybrid drive. While the turbos build pressure, the electric motor drives the wheels. No turbo lag, just torque. And because it's a hybrid, it has an all-electric range. Running on batteries alone, that's 6.2 miles. A bit more if you're going downhill.
Literally, the batteries in that P1, all it is not even trying to save fuel, it's just power. In the Porsche, it's like a mixture of saving power and using it for more boost. In the LaFerrari, they've got the Formula 1 curve system, which gives it like big ass boost to like 961 horsepower. So the McLaren's is just literally to burn more fuel. It's pretty funny.
I quite like sleeper cars. Did Alex ever tell you the story of what we got up to in Colorado? There was this sleeper car competition, you see. Let's just say no one was ready for the sunbeam. Lotus never quite let go of the upgrade game. So in addition to building their own supercars, they upgraded cars from other marques too. The Lotus Carlton was one such aftermarket upgrade. Lotus took a respectable four-door Vauxhall saloon and turned it into a supercar. From the outside, there are a few signs that this is something special. Wider wheel arches, that sort of thing. But under the bonnet, that's where the magic starts.
I did not get a plan, else I wasn't going to cut half the track.
Engine capacity was increased to 3.6 litres, and twin Garrett T25 turbochargers were added. The engine block was reinforced, and new crankshafts were forged by Opel and machined in Germany.
At the roundabout, take the third exit.
The tyres were widened, and the tyre compound from the Lotus Esprit was used. To handle camber change issues, they put in the self-leveling suspension from the Opel Senator.
In 400 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
Only 950 of these custom gems were built, and they've become something of a modern classic.
Literally, I've never heard of that car in my life. Someone says classic.
The Lotus Carlton was an example of how to turn a saloon into a supercar. But that's not the only thing Lotus got up to. In 1979, Chrysler approached Lotus to create a strict rally version of their Sunbeam three-door hatchback. Lotus, as you might imagine, rather enjoyed the challenge.
I can never see
They took the rear-wheel drive
rally.
hatchback and changed everything that matters. They stiffened the suspension, improved the anti-roll bars, and widened the transmission tunnel.
I can't say what speeds it's on.
The Lotus Sunbeam was revealed to the public in 1979 in Geneva to widespread praise in the motoring media.
This car must have been really good back in the day.
It almost makes you wonder if Lotus should do more conversion. It's a silly question, actually. Lotus should do more conversions. In fact, I'll call them right now.
3 stars. Much easier getting 3 stars on this compared to the other ones I've done. Sweet, we got 50 grand and we level up. I already got that shot, I think. Let's see how much we have left. Oh, we got 3 more. We might as well finish it. And then we'll do a few of the championship races.
I honestly think these might be some of the most beautiful cars in the world. And the story of how it came about is, well, really British. Get in the car and let's get this segment. Jaguar is a bit of a favourite of mine. The company is almost 100 years old and was originally founded to build sidecars for motorcycles. But this is the car that really set the bar, I think. The 1961 E-Type. When he saw it, Enzo Ferrari called it the most beautiful car in the world.
I remember hearing about that.
High praise indeed. He wasn't alone in his admiration. Accolades have followed this car ever since. It's been in movies, comics, games, and TV shows. Unlike some later cars in the marque, it wasn't just looks though. The E-Type was light and fast. It would do 153 miles an hour and stopped on innovative four-wheel brakes that were better than anything Ferrari or Porsche or even Mercedes-Benz had.
That would have pissed off everyone back in the day.
It was solid too. with a design based on the D-Type that won the 24 Hours of Le Mans 3 years in a row.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Anyone who owns an E-Type will tell you that the key to their reliability is to drive them regularly, as if you'd need the excuse.
This should be 3 stars.
About 2,500 were built, and they're a common sight at auto shows, and surprisingly reasonably priced. All in all, an almost perfect Jaguar.
I was gonna say they're pretty expensive these days, not reasonably priced.
The E-Type was the successor to the Le Mans winning D-Type. But what would that look like if Jaguar designed it today? In 2013, Jaguar answered that question with the F-Type Project 7, a spiritual successor to the E-Type, and designed from the ground up to be the purest, most enjoyable Jaguar yet. The car's heritage is proudly displayed in the gorgeous D-Type curves and the distinctive aero hunch behind the driving position. But like the E-Type, it's not just a pretty face.
This car in real life is freaking rad and it's awesome. One of the best modern sound
Powered
cars.
by a 5-litre V8 supercharged engine. With a fully aluminium body, it's blisteringly fast, with a 0 to 60 speed of 3.8 seconds and a top speed of 186 miles an hour. A car as beautiful as this must surely have been a carefully authored design. Actually, it started as a sketch by designer César Pierre, thrown together one Friday in his free time. Jaguar's design director, Ian Callum, saw the sketch in a thumbnail on César's computer during a meeting and asked him what it was. The rest is history.
Thank God they made this one.
250 Project 7s were built, as both a successor to the E-Type and as a celebration of Jaguar's victories at Le Mans.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
I think I speak for all of us when I say, thank heavens for César's Friday afternoon doodle.
3 stars. Thank you. So we got 2 more left after this. Getting most of my money back. Spent like 2 mil yesterday. Oh, so close. You got 2 wheel spins, might as well use them. Oh. I pretty got this guy. That's right. No. It was on that 150. Okay, that's don't have enough for that. Okay. Let's save up for that. Oh, we didn't get a wheel spin, okay. Okay, this one and then one more and that'll be it. Mini.
We're almost done, but we've saved the good stuff for last. A spot of rallying in the most British car of them all. Get in, strap in, and let's nail this one. There is one car built in Great Britain that is, quite fairly, considered one of the most influential cars of the century. It's a surprisingly spacious little city car with a side-mounted engine. It's an icon of popular culture. It's been built on every continent where there's a car factory. It's the Mini.
It's actually really hard to spot that classic Mini these days.
The Mini Cooper S was built to be a performance machine with deeper engines, twin carburetors and front disc brakes. This scrappy little machine would go on to achieve more than 30 racing victories in the 1960s and 1970s. We'll reset and take that section again.
I thought I had that. That didn't work.
There is one car built in Great Britain that is, quite fairly, considered one of the most influential cars of the century. It's a surprisingly spacious little city car with a side-mounted engine. It's an icon of popular culture. It's been built on every continent where there's a car factory. It's the Mini. The Mini Cooper S was built to be a performance machine with deeper engines, twin carburetors and front disc brakes. This scrappy little machine would go on to achieve more than 30 racing victories in the 1960s and 1970s. A Mini Cooper S flying number 37 placed first at the 1964 Monte Carlo Rally. Driven by Paddy Hopkirk and Henry Liddon, this was the last time an all-British crew would win the event. But not the last time a Mini would. At Monte Carlo in 1966, Minis took the first, second and third positions. They were all disqualified because they had dimming headlamps. Not because they were winning everything in sight. In 1999, the Car of the Century Award was presented to the most influential car of the 20th century. The Mini came second. It was beaten by the Model T Ford. That's fair, I suppose. 5.3 million Minis would be sold, making it the most popular British car.
Like, who bans someone just because their headlights dim or whatever? That's so stupid.
And then in 2000, BMW resumed production of the Mini, breathing new life into the iconic mark. If the Mini of the 1960s had its sights set on the roads of Monte Carlo, the X-Rayed Countryman has its eyes on something a little tougher.
It's so funny, they're not even Mini anymore, they're quite big
The
cars.
deserts and rough terrain of the Dakar, for starters. A wit once said that the only thing Mini in this monster was the pedal. That's rather missing the point, I think. The X-Rayed Countryman is much, much bigger than the Mini Cooper. It has to be. A stage of the Dakar demands literally tons of gear. You could call it a tank. It does rather sound like one.
Not even close to the thing.
When Mini's X-Rayed division set out to build this thing, they had one goal in mind: winning the Dakar. And they did, every year, from 2012 to 2015.
That's pretty impressive. Pretty
In 400 meters, turn right.
It's designed to be driven for 2 weeks over deserts and badlands, 5 kilometers above sea level. And it still handles like a hot hatch on a nice bit of dry airstrip. Owners come and go. The heritage of a car like the Mini is more than who owns the keys to the shop. I fully expect to see Mini's wings flying for another century.
can't remember who it was. I think it was Tanner Faust that took a normal countryman drifting and he broke. I think it was an ABS he broke or something. Pretty funny. Wheel spin. Okay, we only got one more chapter to do. Okay, let's do this.
This is quite the story. Bentley at Le Mans in the 1930s. Gentleman racers and heroic driving. A personal hero of mine. Take good care of the cars, though. Both of them belong to me.
Oh.
Bentley. A company founded in 1919 in Cricklewood, North London, and purchased by Rolls-Royce in the 30s. A company synonymous with both racing and luxury. Perhaps the best example I know of those two extremes of British engineering. For almost a century, every Bentley was hand-built to exacting standards. So at the beginning of the 21st century, when Bentley revealed their first mass-produced car, there were a great many questions. The car was the Continental GT, an elegant grand tourer that combined a racetrack pedigree with exquisite style and all the power you could need.
And Bentley kept the design for years the same.
The move to mass production has done nothing to blunt the Bentley experience. The 2017 Continental Supersport is responsive, fast, and beautifully designed.
But it still weighs like 2.5 tons, like, or 3 tons. It's still a heavy car.
It brings together all-wheel drive, carbon fiber bonnet sides and side skirts to create the most powerful performance-focused car the company has ever built.
Not like the clever race cars.
And then in 2011, they broke their own record. 205 miles an hour, both ways, on ice. Even when building these gorgeous Grand Tourers, Bentley is driven to excellence.
205 miles an hour on ice is pretty damn quick.
Today, Bentley means modern, peerless luxury and elegance. But that's far from the full story. A century ago, Bentley meant something else entirely. It meant Le Mans. In 1930, eccentric race team owner Dorothy Paget financed a rather special Bentley at the Le Mans. It was a 4.5-litre supercharged masterpiece, driven by Sir Henry Bentley Boy Birkin. It posted the fastest time on the day, but it failed to finish.
So it was really unreliable.
But what a race it was! Sir Henry's courageous driving forced Rudolf Caracciola's 7-litre Mercedes out of the race at the cost of his own victory. But in doing so, he ensured that the Bentley Sixes would take the victory.
What game is it? I don't know what game that is.
Sir Henry knew he didn't have anything to prove. In 1929, the adventurer Mrs. Mary Victor Bruce had already driven the resolutely modern 4.5-litre Bentley at Montlhéry, setting distance, speed and endurance records. The Bentley's performance so annoyed Ettore Bugatti that he called it the world's fastest lorry. Oh, and when the blower finally went on auction in 2012, it fetched more than enough to get yourself a Veyron and a racing truck.
Mick. Never playing Fortnite again. Sweet. Oh, come on. I swear, the more roads I drive, the more I have to discover.
Like I told them, can't make a film about car culture around here without you in it, can they? I'll let you know if they need you back.
Sweet, I think we've done that. Let's actually go back to base. We've got a few cars to check out.
In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right.
This truck is so silly.
In 400 meters, turn right. In 100 meters, turn sharp right.
Yeah, let's check out the bottom lines.
You have arrived at your destination.
Hey, let's check out these new cars that we've got. Okay, I'm fine. Where is that TVR?
See that engine? 7.7 litres, 12 cylinders, maybe 1,000 horsepower. I feel like I've just found a decommissioned nuclear warhead in an old shed. Take it, but just be careful with it, yeah?
It's not the prettiest TVR, I'll give it that. So, how many race cars do you have? You only got 1, 2. Okay. This car is going to cost me $8.55 million to repair right now. Nope. Stats for an old car like that isn't bad. Okay, my cars. So that's what we got, Alpha. What other cars did we get from the... I was gonna say, did anyone else see the Alpha become a Camaro? Strange. That's the other car we got from the wheel spin. And we got the Dino. That should be a lot more expensive than 425,000. And the Crown Vic. And we got the NSX. What was that big truck that we got? There, yes. Ah, it's first time driving these. Freaking big ass. I think it's somewhere in Europe that have these trucks racing. Don't know what the racing series is called. Not weird. I wonder if that actually does anything really. Actually, I've got something in mind for this. Yeah, let me check on that. Engine swap. What are we gonna do with this? Holy freaking out. 2,400 bhp. 12.8 litre. Freaking monster. I don't have enough money. Yes, I do, but I don't want to spend it. Holy Jesus. Is this rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive? Let's make it all-wheel drive. Do that. It's a racing truck. I'm pretty sure it'll have all the racing stuff on it, so... Okay, let's test this thing out. It's a monster, this thing. Holy shit, I'm really sleepy. Where's the driving race?
Turn around when it is safe to do so. In 100 meters, turn left. In 200 meters, turn left.
Okay, it doesn't fit under some bridges.
Turn left.
Let's see how fast this thing is.
You have arrived at your destination.
I'm gonna say my mini's faster than this. Brakes are not too bad. That's pretty good. I'm gonna switch to this alpha. Looks like this has been tuned already. Can you put any body kits onto it? Nope. This has been stripped. Sweet. Okay, I need more storyline ones. Car restriction hypercars. I don't think we got hypercars. I'm not too sure. That's co-op. Okay, we'll do the hypercar one. Might as well fast travel as well. Sensor. So what do we get? 5 grand. Wheel spin. Hey, not too bad.
Considering it's spring and we're in the UK, I can't guarantee good weather for this championship. What I can guarantee is that it'll be fun come rain or shine.
Probably should have made this car all-wheel drive. I need to get rid of that livery I put on it. Here you go, sprint race. Once you put your foot to the floor, put any acceleration on, this car would just spin it. We got wheel spins, but might as well make this car all-wheel drive. Thank God I was told by a subscriber about this house. Oh, great. Custom. Does lose its speed, but that's alright, we can upgrade that. No, we can't. You have a race on? Okay. Guessing it's already lowered enough. Doesn't really do anything. We'll strip weight out of it. Oh my god, Nightblood, it's okay. Bye, Sharon. Don't have enough money for it yet. I'll get a desired limits, I'll get it soon. How much is it? What did I show? Let's check it out. $2.4, so I'm close enough to getting it. How much is that? 2.2. 1.7. I noticed the acceleration is a little bit down compared to the Veyron Supersport. It's 2.4 mil. Let's do this race again. Where was it? There it is. Yeah, that's actually a good point. I didn't realize that. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, the insurance costs like 3 mil in real life, or 4 mil? Depending on where you're from. I've got it partly set up. I don't think that's properly set up yet. It costs 3.2 for US. Okay. See ya. See ya. Mick, what are you trying to do? Hey, what's up, Stott? What's happening, bud? Welcome to the stream. don't think I got much commands set for Nightbot yet. If you guys are trying to figure out the commands, I don't think I've got everything set up yet. That's alright. Do you mean my YouTube channel or my actual username on PS4 and Xbox? To be honest, I just what? I don't know who Mike Hunt is. Decide limits with my console usernames. I'm gonna turn that volume down so I can actually speak. With my console usernames, it was my nickname in school was Jippy, and as I grew up older, everyone kept saying bro a lot, and jippebro just came from that. YouTube was just just needed a name, and Empire Elite sounded pretty good. And that was it. Pretty much it. Nothing fancy. Holy, I can't even drive today. Mike Hooks? Still no idea start. You would all drive on these cars. No raises our limits. I don't know memes. I don't spend all days looking at memes. Fortunately, I got a real life and work. What was I gonna do? Settings. On. Let's put that back on.
Turn around when it is safe to do so. In 400 meters, turn left. You have arrived at your destination.
Oh, let's do this. Oh, I don't think I'm meant to know everything in life. Okay, let's do this. I think the map in this game is really good as well, especially with the season change. How can I drive this car today? I'll give it one more shot. Do I? Don't think so. Let's go. I've never done so bad in my life. That's it. Railroad finish with railroad. This is one first. take second place. What drugs do I usually take? None. I'll take that, I'll take that. Yeah, it's only 9:28 for me. I already got that GTO, I think. Okay, where do we go? Next one's here.
People on the Horizon subreddit are telling weird abandoned car stories, and I know it's the internet, but one of these is too good not to go check out.
There's a bonfire. Okay, it's somewhere here. I'm gonna do this, and then we go look for that bonfire.
In 400 meters, turn left. Turn left. In 400 meters, turn sharp right. Recalculating route. You have arrived at your destination.
Okay, this is a 3-lap circuit race. Okay, guess we use this one again. It's got so much power, it's so hard to control. Okay, let's see how we do. Relax, that's it. should have seen that one coming. Took way too long. Third place. I don't know who won the first round. So I'm 2 points behind. Both those characters the same. Where's the other one? Okay, before we do that, let's check out the wheel spin. Down, down, down. I'll take that. That's gonna cost that. No. Speaking of another wheel spin. Oh, I'll get the car at least. No. That was a waste. Hey, let's go to the bonfire. Where was it? Over here. Hopefully it's something good. I'm gonna look somewhere around here. We're gonna be here. Possibly maybe here as well. Let's go. Sneeze. It's too close to the road, so I doubt it. Oh, there it is. Right there. That was.
You found it? Nice! The Redditors were right. I'll be there as quick as I can.
Howdy, cook.
Wicked. Audi Sport Quattro. With a siren and everything. People are saying this belonged to... Wait, in the door, are those bullet holes? Explain later. Right now, let's get this to the garage.
This was probably an ex-police car. It's cool.
We'll just lock that barn up and... Alright, call you soon.
Cool. What was the last race you had to do? Before we do that... I've wasted so much money just doing fast travel. Just want to upgrade the brakes. Upgrades. Nope, can't do brakes. Mickey, you should probably go to bed then. It's like, I think it's like 10:42 for you. Oh my god, I nearly maxed everything out. None of these would be lighter. Nope. Didn't think so. Cool. Hopefully that can help us a bit. Okay. It's right next to us. We're going to drive there.
In 400 meters, turn left. Turn left.
No worries, mate. Thanks for sticking around. By the way, guys, if you're liking the stream, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. That'd be awesome.
You have arrived at your destination.
Unfortunately, I can't play Formula 1 or any games tomorrow, Mick. I'm out all day. Okay, let's try to get that wheel spin. Yeah, we'll see on Sunday as well. Yeah, catch him, Nick. Thanks for sticking around. Race tires. Yeah, race times and rain. What a good idea. Kind of sucks. I don't have rewind but turned on. Oh. I'm still sounding too bad though. I'm struggling with this getting good for some reason. Ooh, what? Oh my god. This is the offline. so lucky with that. Freaking serious. I got a really bad habit. I don't know how I miss checkpoints. It's on a regular basis, but it's really annoying. I don't like circuit racing. Nope. Still someone else. Not my best.
Okay, final round of Horizon Road Racing Series. After this, I have something a little different in mind. Something bigger.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. But anyway, guys, I am gonna call it there. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to join my Discord server, the link is down below in the description. Until Sunday, unfortunately not streaming Saturday. So until Sunday, bye for now.